Okay. It's the, what is that? It is the 22nd of January, 2021. And I'm about to continue this thing. It's Friday. After this, let's start work. Hopefully, get the get the scheduled tasks done. That'd be good. Alright, what is this face? I gotta look up references for this thing here. Because I forgot what colors he is. I hope to get this one done in this session. So we will see. We will see. Okay, he looks like... Alright, his is simple enough. I was looking at this when I finished streaming yesterday and I noticed something I wanted to edit today. This thing here. His mouth. I didn't like it. I think I wanted to make it break higher, if that makes sense. I think it just looks more trippy that way. I'll remove this thing here. And these ones while I'm here too. Where is it? And then I'll do this, that, maybe some of these while I'm here. I think I've got everything done, so let's actually begin colors on this thing. I don't know if I wanted to do a more, I don't know, just a background, but that'll take away from the actual time, running time. Can I afford to? I don't even know. We'll see what happens. Rarely I know what I'm gonna do in this session until I do it. So that's why I don't know. How do I select? Okay, I draw. Okay, there's a better way of doing that, I guess. Yep. Oop. All right, let's just, I guess let's do a light background while I'm here. May as well, right? It's the only coloring that I'll be doing for the next, I guess, for today, since today's task is primarily line art. No, baselines. Baselines is what I'm doing today. No, pencils. Well, baselines and pencils, basically, digital pencils. So it's taken a lot of focus, and it's nice to break up the day, I guess, between colors and line art. No, I'll never get caught up. I'm already a day behind. In order to get caught up, I'll need to do 4 in a day, which is not possible with the amount of details that's required of these. The only way I'll be able to actually catch up is when I use my what was to be my free day on Sunday. Well, I mean, let's hope next session I'll know whether or not I caught up. Next session being Monday my time. So, it's catching up at the cost, basically. It's the price I'm paying, and the price is a day off. But if I maintain from here on out, then I will have next Sunday off, which is, you know, fingers crossed, huh? Fingers crossed I don't have another one of those days where it's just nothing's happening. Although to be, yeah, fingers crossed. In a way, I almost wish that I was on a color stage, because I can kind of autopilot a majority, at least the beginning of that section, which is like the flats and stuff. I can autopilot that. It's the parts where I have to like render that I really have to think about what it is I'm actually doing. G'day in Indio art. What is that? Blur, radial blur. Let's radial blur the shit. Yep, we'll see. I mean, you know, we'll see. Hopefully, like, yeah, I can maintain the 2 a day schedule that I actually set out for myself. This is a continuation of Face Ripper from One Punch Man from yesterday's hour stream. Let's actually begin. That's not what I want to do, but oh, there we go. Wow. Flats is pink. What is he like? Pinky brown. Cool. Oh, I didn't close it. There we go. Sweet. Pretty simple background here, I think. Yeah, may as well just go for something simple. There's no point in doing more than I need to, considering it's just for this. Alright, handles. Let's do that. Not too one. There we go. And then up. Oh, yeah. It's going to be hot today. I think for the next few days it's actually going to be pretty hot here. So hopefully I can, hopefully the heat doesn't drain my focus. That's what happens sometimes, like when it's really hot, I feel like I'm being drained of energy to do anything. And I can't afford to do that. I can't afford to let that happen because Again, I am on a schedule and I'd like to keep that. However, I should at least base, like, I think I should just like know it, by say noon. Okay, man. Like if I feel by noon, no, I think noon might be too early because sometimes I really get into the groove once it's like 2 p.m. But then it's almost like it's too late. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, what I'm saying is I feel like if I can figure out earlier that the day is not going the way I want it to, then I'll know that, okay, I'm going to start shifting my work day, as in like I'll move that day, I'll move the break day into today and then work on the Sunday, for example. And that way, my mindset for the day is going to be of a break, and I will make the most of it. I'll end up making the most of that day, as opposed to say, if my mind is still saying, oh yeah, today is a work day, and then just kind of struggle that whole day, which has been kind of what happened, in the first, I think it was on Monday and Wednesday, which obviously didn't help me out there. So I think if I figure it out earlier, if I realize it earlier, it'll be better. Obviously, it's most of the time I think it's just denial of not wanting to use up that day, but it makes more sense, I think. But it's Friday, and it really means nothing. As in, like, I know for most people it's like, oh yeah, cool, Friday. It means it's weekend time. I'm so used to not having that kind of luxury. But then it's like, it balances out, because work as a freelance, when the deadlines are kind of more lax, I can pretty much do what I want. I could take a whole week off and be like, yeah, cool, I'm taking a week off. And that's normal, whereas, people have to work during those. But in situations like this, where it's like, okay, you're working in a deadline, then you have no choice but to actually get stuff done in order to meet that deadline. I really should also take note of what American public holidays are and such, because that does affect when I get responses for particular tasks. It's like I'm not going to send anything for approvals on this day, for example, because I'm not going to receive a response for the next few days. And then it's like, instead of, wasting those days waiting for a response, I'll get stuff done. And I think that's one thing I'm still learning to this day, where it's like, okay, make sure that I give myself leeway. Okay, the beauty about this character, what is that? Nope. Extra. What is his eyes? His eyes are yellow. Oop, not blue, yellow. Let's give him teeth while we're at it. Because some scenes he has teeth. Well, at least in the color version. Instead of just drawing them in, I'll imply it with color. Those are essentially all the colors he has. I can do everything else with just shading and such. So flattening this guy is probably one of the easiest. Rendering, however, is a different story because there's going to be a lot to it, I guess. So I may as well get a head start with that. What is that? It's too blue. Let's gray this out a little bit more. Oh no, no, not at all, not at all. No, if that were the case, then I wouldn't have drawn any details. I would have just left it all to what I did with the eyes and the teeth, where I'm just applying it, you know, in color stages. No, there's no face details. It's all like, because if you look at it, it's like it all just kind of fades to black within the eyes and the mouth, and he doesn't really have teeth. Like, I know I've drawn teeth on some of them, but it's still skin. So no, I'm applying all that in color. I'm not gonna. I'm crazy, but not for this. Okay, that's too much. So I'll do the glow like this, but then I'll do a ram lighting. Yes. Yeah, it's a bit violet. How about we do that one instead? No, that's too pale. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'll delete that one. That might be a bit dark, but I don't care. So I'll leave it that dark, I think. And then this one I'll do. Nope. All right, let's start this puppy. I think I can just do that. Maybe, yeah. Line that up. Yeah, it works. Okay, so once I finish this, as in like once I finish the stream, first thing I'm going to do is quickly make that edit that was required of yesterday's page. And then I will begin today's actual task, which hopefully is not going to be too demanding. But I did look over the script last night and it should be okay. Should be okay. Yes, I have not read it yet because when it came out, it was like, I think 3 a.m. and I was 3 or 4 a.m. or something like that, and I was already asleep. So I'm going to read it after, maybe during lunch or something. Yeah, no rush. It's there. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. It is like, that's one of the things that I'm currently like actively reading. And while I would like to, you know, start a few more, you know, at least give a couple more titles a peek, time isn't exactly, you know, the best right now. G'day, Animate Sam. Alright. I gotta find ways to wow. I might have an early lunch, I think. Lunch slash breakfast, as in first meal of the day. That way I can just focus on work after that. Maybe the shadow is too dark. What happened there? Oh no, that was another tooth. That's what happened there. I was looking up photos of my last trip to Japan back in 2018? And I was just like, oh man, I freaking missed that place. The food, man, the food. It's a shame I can't, like, there's not many places here that I'm aware of that are mainly like the grilled eel. I really want grilled eel. And I don't think there are any places here that serve that. And that's a disappointment. Alright, time to render this body. Not looking forward to it. Oh, I forgot. Should probably need. That's nice. Oh, I forgot I left out the scars. I knew I left something out. What color should I do then? Maybe that color. Yeah, that color's cool, I guess. Alrighty then. Nope. Alright, is that? Yup. Let's do that then. I'll reduce that a little bit, 60. Yeah, 60 probably works more. It's just as effective. Then I will... What did I get myself into with this character? I really need to think of a more straightforward character. I don't know yet. I don't know if the next stream is going to be another mysterious being, or if I'm going to begin doing those, drawing up the TMNT toy villains. I might do that actually. We'll see. We'll see come Monday. Seeing as it's Friday here. And this will probably be finished this stream, I feel. Got about a good 30, 37, 30, 33 minutes or so left. I can probably get this done within that time. It is just an estimation, but I feel that I feel like I can. Provided I don't decide to go any more crazier on this than I need to. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, the villains in One Punch Man, as simple as some of them look, or you think they're, you know, fairly simple, once you start them, you're like, oh, I'm dumb. Why did I even think this was going to be easier than the other ones? I think the easiest one, and honestly one of the more fun ones that I did was, what was it? What was his name? Ground Dragon. I mean, that one I managed to do in a single stream, but then again, it was like the most simplest one. I even included Saitama in that one. So, it kind of completed the look, I guess, but that's... none of them are going to be like that, really. So, that I feel is like an actual one-off in regards to how long it takes and the kind of design that it is. So, I don't know, I kind of wished it was more like that. What there's not. I've got these packages that are like I'm waiting for, and I think for about, I don't know how long for, like I've got one marked. I received like notification 2 days ago, I think it was, that I'm receiving a pass, like Australia Post has received a parcel, and I don't know what it is. So I'm just wondering, like, what the heck is it? And there's two other things that I'm waiting on where they're listed as pending, and I'm like, what does that mean? You've been pending for several days now. I think a week almost. Ground Dragon, his body isn't actually very difficult either, to be honest. It's just, he looks like a mole of sorts with just the markings on his chest. But even then, it's like, I mean, I only drew the face, obviously, the head and the hands, but those were enough to know what character it was and even what scene it was. So I'm like, is it necessary to even to depict all those? got all these things. Maybe I'll just... Alright, what I'll do is I'll do mass shaping here, and then like remove the detailing shades, if that makes sense. What a creepy design. I think this design, say, if it were in like a high-end CG like Gantz O, this guy would be just terrifying. He'd essentially just be a horror character. A lot of them could actually look pretty terrifying. But this one in particular, I think. Because I mean his name is Face Ripper. So you'd assume that's kind of what he does and what he's about. That's pretty scary. I never actually tried that before. That's actually neat. That is neat. See, shading his face is a good indication, at least, to allow me to figure out whether or not it's gonna be, he's gonna be a pain in the ass. And he might be. Like all those, I don't know how much I want to go in on this. I think there's enough lines to get across what it is he's about. Okay, what I'll do is I've got to be smart about this. I'm already regretting picking this character. Oh, okay, he's upside down. So I'm just blocking in the lights for now. Then I'll dive in a little bit further with these details. I'm just trying to indicate where the light's gonna hit. And then see, that looks pretty cool. Like if I blur my eyes, yeah, that looks done. Obviously, if I open my eyes, I'm like, oh no, far from it. And then I'll go in like I'm doing now. Oh man, I don't know if I want to finish today. I want to though. We'll see how I go. I might just decide to, even if I'm going over the hour for like a few minutes, I may do that just so I can finish this shit. Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Like, I think these ones here, these two at least, are a nice indication of how far I'm gonna go. At least with the primary lighting. But then there's that whole secondary light, and then rim lighting. I don't know. I swear, sometimes I hate that my mind has to go there. And I think it goes that way because it's like, all right, like I there's points in time where I'm like, okay, I'll just do color flats and basically let that be, you know, complete where it is. I'll only go as far as color flats. And some pieces look good just as color flats, you know. Some pieces hold up just as a color flat. But then, and as much as I would love to, with that though, I'd have to like alter the lines a little bit, you know, put some line effects, like blur the lines out and such. But some pieces hold up just as lines, you know, are strong enough to hold up just as lines. But then my brain goes, oh, it doesn't allow it, because sometimes my brain will basically just say, oh, if you can, since you can finish this off, why don't you just go all the way with it? I think that's why, like, I'm enjoying a lot of the, like, you're on Patreon, so, and, you know, for those who are not, I do post some alternates sometimes. That's why I like doing alternates, because that's me kind of, that's where I get to experiment. And speaking of Patreon, I should probably upload some stuff today. Yeah, I get to do alternates, and that's fun for me because it's just a different view, a different interpretation of what I wanted to do. I don't know if there's been some alternates where I prefer the alternates more. I think some of them work better as the alternates, but you know, it's always nice to be able to see what it looks like in a regular style. So I'll do it in a regular style as well. But yeah, I'm sometimes my brain's like, oh, yeah, why don't I just leave it as that? Oh, absolutely. Sometimes simple is better, and you know, some pieces definitely call for it. But then again, my brain will say, oh, if you can go further in on this, do it. And that's when I'll have to tell myself, you know, what is it? What is it for? Other than to be able to, because most of the time, even if it's for nothing, like these are for nothing. These are warm-up pieces, because that's what it is basically. It is, all these pieces are warm-ups. But while it's a warm-up, it's not a sketch, obviously, because I treat these pieces as final. Like I will go in on them and treat them like they are full illustrations, because that's what they are, and that's how my brain works. It's like it's not a sketch. If I was just going to do a sketch, I would have just left it as the base sketch that I did before. But why? Like, if it's not, I know it's not for anybody, but you know, for the sake of just doing it. But that's kind of the way my brain works. It's like, if you're gonna do it, why are you gonna half-ass it for? That piece, if that's the only piece that a stranger sees, that's representing you. So why not, you know, put your best foot forward, at least, or at least, you know, do what you can, do what you're capable of. Even if you're experimenting, you're still trying things, you know. It's ego. I don't even know if ego is the right word for it. I do it because it's like, as much as I see something in my head, rarely it's what it looks like when I actually work on it. And I want to see my interpretation of these things. Now, you can say that's ego. That's not really ego, because otherwise I'll just do it. So I don't know. If you're going to do something, do it. Go in. Okay, so far that's looking okay. And basing it on this, I don't think I'm going to finish this in this session. So this is going to be... I may stream this weekend. There's no guarantee of that. Because since I am working this weekend, I will most likely need to warm up for those. But for some reason, my body knows when it's the weekend, and it just doesn't want to wake up early. It just knows that it's like, oh, it's a weekend. You're going to not get up on time. But I still, I still get shit done. So I don't know. It's weird. So I may stream. I don't know. If you get notified that I'm here, then definitely drop by. Yeah, I don't know if like doing what you can is an ego thing. Because it's not real. It's more so just if I'm gonna do it, why not do a proper job of it, if that makes sense. And really, again, I want to see what I do with it. And the only way I can fully see what I'm going to do with it is to, do it. I can the vision in my head will always be complete, but it's never, or it's rarely what actually, appears. What's on. It's rarely what it actually ends up looking like when it's actually done. And so the only way I can see that is to actually make it here. Like this image, when I imagined it in my head, didn't look like this. It obviously evolves while I'm working on it. Oh, what a bitch of a character. Look at all this. Yeah, this is not going to get done today. I really should have realized that. Obviously, I am realizing it right now. Why did I pick this character? I was spoiled, man. I was spoiled by the last one, by Ground Dragon. Ground Dragon let my guard down. It fooled me. It was like false security. It's like, oh, no, this guy's going to be easy. He's like, I think in my head, because it was like, oh, the flats on this guy. It's simple. He's like 4 colors. That's freaking easy. Oh, by the way, he's got like a buttload of line art. Oh, and yeah, you got to render that line art too. Cool. Good job. Good job, brain. Freaking stupid. You realize it this far in. Obviously, I don't have to. I could have colored this random view style. I could have drawn this piece random view style, actually. That's what I kind of wanted to do. I told myself that a while ago, where I'm like, I'd love to just kind of reinterpret, or just like reimagine. Not even reimagine, just draw characters that I like in how they would appear in random views. I really should have done that from the start, now that I think about it. I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. I might have to do it, but I don't want to like repeat characters, and I don't want to like do characters from here on out in that style, because it is gonna be fairly jarring. I'm already look what I got myself into. What a dumbhead. Yeah, no, I picked him because I think he looks cool. Like, I definitely picked him for that reason. One, because he appeared in the anime already, and he looks cool. And I've never drawn him before, I don't know if he's fairly memorable at all, but at this point, it's difficult for a One Punch Man mysterious being to be memorable because of, how long they lasted in the show. What the hell? face is that? Okay, see that? Wait, what the heck? Is that multiple faces? I don't even know what that is at this point. Okay, I see. I kind of see it. That's one, I think. Yeah, I don't even know what the heck I was drawing there. Ah, no, I see it now. I'm done. Yep. That's the mouth. That's what it was. Yeah. There's just so much lines here that I don't know. Oh, you see, like, I look at this, right? And I think if I had to draw this in a comic, my brain would not automatically, but it would definitely think of it differently. Like, think of how I would tackle this differently in a way where, okay, it's not going to be as much of a pain in the ass to have to draw more than once within actual, like, in sequential panels, you know. There are some designs, like the current project I'm working on. I don't think it was designed in mind to be drawn out all the time, unless, you know, you're like a pure masochist. I think the designs are cool. I didn't design them. I think they're cool. They are a pain in the ass. I am enjoying it, but they are a full pain in the ass. Right, exactly. That's why, like, when I'm designing things, characters and such, I have to know, like, I design it for the purpose of what they're going to be for. So with comics, for example, like when I'm designing my random views characters or anything, you know, I have to know, like, I have to remind myself that, okay, will I want to draw this all the time? So, and if the answer is yes, then cool, you know, it works out. But I'm never going to over design something. Unless it's for like a single illustration, you know, I don't mind that. But for comics, for example, if you know you have to repeat drawing it all the time, would you want to put yourself through that? And does it actually, do all these little details make the design better? Because if it's not for the benefit of the character design, I don't know what the purpose is, you know. Like, it's almost like you're just showing off at this point. It's like, oh, cool, look how much detail I can throw in this shit. But what's, like, is it necessary? What's the point of all those details? And it's, again, if it's there, if that's how it's designed, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to draw it out. Like for the current project that I'm doing, the designs are just stupid as in, like, stupid in a way where there's just, this detail is killing. There's a lot, but I'm not, you know, I'm going to draw it because that's what's, you know, that's what's required. I am going to try and find, like, not shortcuts, but more so like try to be smarter with how I depict things, I guess. Like, if I know something is going to be, like, I kind of wish my style lended itself more to using spot black, you know, like, where I would like when limbs are in a distance, I can just silhouette that out, or up close, or like, you know, actual like heavier shadows. That way, you know, I can just be more smarter with what I'm, conserve the line, I suppose, you know, like not necessarily need to draw all those details, but that's not really my style at that point, and I'd be shifting my style just to do that. And I think I've gotten away with some things, but I have drawn everything out. Like every line appears, I've applied that more so in how I shade. There is still a lot of detail. So yeah, when this project is announced, you'll understand what I'm talking about right now. It's fun. I'm not quite sure who the audience is, and the designs are a bitch. I'm not even sure who's doing the covers. I'd like to do a cover, but then that would just mean more work. But I just like to do it. I think I would like to do a cover. I should ask them to see who's going to do some covers, and if I should do one. What do you guys feel about, like, in comics, for those who read comics, what do you feel about like the interior artist doing a cover? You think they should be doing at least one cover? I know most of the time the books have like multiple covers, right? Do you feel the main artist, the interior artist, should do a cover, or do you feel cheated when it's like where the alternate cover is just another artist? What are you guys' feelings on that? Because I remember as a kid when I used to buy like comic books. Oh no. No! Alright. I was shading the wrong layer. Ooh, thank goodness for the history. See, I think, yeah, as a kid, my issue with that, like, I, you know, you'd see the cover, you'd pick it up based on the cover, because that's the first thing that you see on the stands, and you'd look inside, and you're like, oh, this is, I was sold on the cover because that's the first thing that I'd seen, but it's not like what I'm getting inside isn't really what I saw on the front, and I almost felt sometimes like partially cheated. And I know like some books have, it's more common for books to have like, you know, cover A, cover B, and all that jazz. Do you feel like one of those covers should be at least what, you know, should at least represent what the interiors look like? Look at that, I forgot shading this shit here. It's a good thing that I saw that. What the heck? Yeah, see, that's my thing, where I'm like, the covers were like, oh, the covers drew me in, but then once I picked it up, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mind so much. I feel like if the interior art was a different style, but also really solid. But I've picked up a handful of books where I'm like, the interiors, it's like, it's not that it was bad. It's just it wasn't to my liking, you know, in terms of preference. Even if it was a different style altogether, that wouldn't bother me, so long as, you know, there was appeal, like it had appeal to me. But, you know, not every style is going to appeal to everybody. That's kind of the way things are. That's true. That's really true. And that's why I think I like, because of that, that's why I like manga in a way, because what usually, I don't think manga even has like alternate covers done by other artists. Rarely is that the case, unless it's like, I know it's happened on occasion for like European editions and such. I know, like, I forget which books, but there's been a couple where you would get alternate covers for like foreign release. Oh, right, what was that? I think it may have been for the there was that one a few years ago. An alternate cover for like Naruto anime that people were like kind of shitting on because it obviously it wasn't like drawn in a manga style, and people just didn't like it. I forget who it was, but I mean, honestly, that's just weird marketing in general. Like that seemed like an odd choice. Like if you were gonna get an alternate artist to do a cover for a release of some sort, you'd assume that they would pick either a well-known artist based on the name, or one that would suit the style more. So I don't know. It's like an interesting thing that, well, like I think it was a few years ago. Was it Dark Horse? They did like an Attack on Titan comic anthology, where they where a bunch of American and Western comic artists and writers would they wrote out an anthology that takes place in the Attack on Titan world. And that, I think that was interesting, and I think that's like, doing stuff like that is awesome, because it's like an officially licensed thing. It's like, you can consider that what if you want, or I don't know if it was part canon, because I don't think they involved a lot of the main characters, just the settings of the world. Well, I don't remember. I didn't actually pick it up, but I thought that the concept was pretty cool. Like, I think it'd be interesting to see more stuff like that. Or I know, what was that? There's that whole Sanji one shot, I guess. Is it a one shot? Or it's like a manga about One Piece character Sanji and his like chef adventures. It's drawn by the guy who did that cooking manga. I forget their names. I forget titles and stuff. But that's like in canon shit, I think. No, I think the Boichi one is different. But it might be the Boichi one. Yeah, that cover. That's weird. Like, why? I can understand the appeal for like who is a target audience for that? Who is like, that's my main question, I think. It's not that it's like a terrible image. It's definitely specific. There were decisions made when they did that. I'm just mainly wondering, and it's not for me, I'm definitely not the audience for that, but who is the audience for that is my main question. And that's really it. Yes. That's the one that I'm talking about, Manuel. The cooking one. Which is cool. I think like stuff like that is neat. But yeah, that Naruto cover, that's, I don't know, man. That's a bit weird. Like, if you're gonna get an American artist to do that, wouldn't you want to get someone who, I don't know, maybe the artist is a fan Maybe the artists have found a Naruto and they were like, you know, they were offered a job and they took it because it's like, yeah, absolutely, I'm a fan of the property and I'd love to. But like could you imagine an Adam Warren one, or like Joe Mad, someone that has more of the, at least the flavor. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who picked up the actual Naruto movies based on seeing this steel book. But it was an interesting choice made, and that's official. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. I think I'm done for today. I've been about an hour, so I'll be back. If you see me in the weekend, then I'm obviously streaming in the weekend, but I will most likely finish this my time Monday, which I think is for everybody else on a Sunday. So if I don't stream during then, I hope you have a good weekend, and thanks for joining.